Yes, indeed. Welcome into another episode of Rip N Riff here on the Rip N Riff YouTube channel. Just a couple of balding guys ripping some cards. Kick your week off here. A little hockey and a little baseball today. I am at Pucking Thoughts. Adam Bernard over there is at Mr. Jared Moore. Jared, here we are. We got about 2.5 weeks left before the Stanley Cup playoffs. We've got a Final Four. Baseball's we're in the second series of the season for all these teams, so we're here.
We are here. That is an accurate description for both setting up the show and both the hosts of the show. So well done on your part.
Good start for the Yankees out in the Bay Area. First couple of games went about as good as you could want against the Giants. So that was nice. Giants fans were panicking out of the gate. That was nice to see up here in my neck of the woods.
Yeah, the Yankees played well. Pitching, defense, a lot to like. Aaron Judge going deep a couple times. That's a very solid start to the campaign.
We'll take that. Also, NFL draft coming up. Won't touch too much on that today, but we will start getting into that here in the coming weeks. But what we are going to do is we're going to rip some packs. Jared's got I Love Loosey. And yeah, we're going to, let's waste any time. Let's jump right in. Here's what we're ripping today. All right, here we go. 1987 Topps coming up here. And you saw some of the rookie cards we'd like to pull out of that year. Barry Bonds, Bo Jackson, Future Star, something like
that. The Barry Bonds rookie would be ideal, preferably.
The Don Mattingly card from that year, too, also was like I don't want to use the word iconic, but a very popular Don Mattingly card.
Yeah. Love these packs. Nice and easy to open. You still have the 4-decade-old stick of gum in there. So we'll throw that in the trash. We have the one card that's stained by the old gum there on the back of it. The nice Jim Gatner card. So there you go.
With the very 1980s frames there. That's what you hope for. If you know that gum stain is coming. Gum, G-U-M.
Yes.
So you hope it's on like a nobody. Like you'd hate to pull like a Mark McGuire and that's the worst.
Yep. Let's see. We have Reggie Williams with the Dodgers. Bert Blyleven, Hall of Famer with the Twins. Jay Tibbs in the old Expos uniform.
Will Montreal ever get a baseball team back? Because it sounds like if baseball expands, they're probably going to go out maybe to Portland or Nashville or something like that. Vegas.
Not anytime soon.
It's a shame.
Yeah, it is what it is. Let's see. Milt Thompson here with the Phillies.
Also classic. I'm glad they wear those jerseys, those baby blues.
Mm-hmm. Jim Presley with the Mariners. Those old school Mariner uniforms. T.R. Bryden here with the California Angels.
Looking smug there.
Yes. Tony Fernandez with the Blue Jays.
Good player. Also love those old Blue Jay uniforms. Like that whole the trend of wearing baby blue on the road. Just bring that back across the.
Yep. The old Topps Spring Fever baseball card. It's not too late to win a trip to the 1988 spring training camp for your team of your choice.
All right. See Yankee spring training 1988.
Mm-hmm.
Mattingly.
We have Rick Manning. By the way, love the old wood paneling here on the cards as well. It's just such a classic look.
Would you say that to use the word iconic, is that the most iconic baseball, any sports card border look? Because to me, you know what that is immediately when you look at it.
100%. This was in the middle of the wooden age when everything had wood paneling. Everyone's basement had the wood paneling back in the day. If you had the old TVs that used to be in some sort of wooden box, some nice. It looked more like a piece of furniture than a television. So yeah, it definitely fit the era.
So for me, we actually had one tone of wood paneling in one room and a different in the dining room, and then a different one in the living room. It was, yeah, and then a different one in the kid. It was the style at the time, as a certain television character would say.
Yes, like tying an onion to your belt. Roger Clemens here in 1986 record breaker.
I think I had that card at some point. I'm sure a lot of people.
It doesn't look like a particularly rare card, so yeah, we probably all had it at one point or another. Dave Leiper with the Oakland Athletics, now currently the Athletics. Nice to see them making progress on that new stadium, though. Saw some of the construction photos of that ballpark well underway, so they'll be ready to go. It looks like in 2 years, so good for them.
I like that. I mean, I miss having them in Oakland, but I kind of like having a Sacramento. Like, I could see myself getting out there for the Yankees and maybe one other time a year. It's nice to still have them somewhat nearby, but yeah, like you said, probably 2 years away from them going down to Vegas for good.
Let's see, Frank DePino with the Cubs. Just a couple cards left in this pack. Let's see, a Pirates leaders card here, so you can go through all the Pirates leaders there with Sid Bream and Joe Orslack led the team in triples that year, so good for him. Barry Bonds led his team stolen bases.
I remember when the Mets got him. Play right field.
Let's see. Rich Gedman here with the Red Sox. I just dropped a card. Probably doesn't matter. It's 4 decades old. Luis Aguado here with the Phillies. Pretty cool card here. I think this might have been one of the ones in your feature video, by the way. A Future Stars Bo Jackson card.
There we go. That's one of the ones we were hoping to pull. That's a good pack.
Yep. And last but not least, we have ourselves Domingo Ramos here with the Mariners. So kind of a ho-hum pack there, but the Bo Jackson Future Stars there saved it.
I think the Clemens record breaker too is a good number 2 out of the pack. That's not a bad one either.
That's not bad.
Nah.
I mean, he's only the greatest pitcher of my lifetime who's not in the Hall of Fame for reasons we don't need to get into for the 8 billionth time on this show.
I remember the last day of school, junior year of high school for me, I decided to cut because it was Yankees Red Sox with like a afternoon first pitch, and it was Pedro versus Clemens. Like, how do I not go? So jump on the D train, go to the Bronx. Clemens gets scratched from the start while I'm on the train up. So like get that first inning, and it's not no, he doesn't get scratched. He gets hurt in the first inning. That's what it was. Like he was dealing with like a hamstring issue at the time. So like, and you could see him walking off the field like, oh yeah, he ain't coming back. And then it was ended up being a good game. I spilled Dippin' Dots on some guy's shoe by accident out of the Yankee plastic helmet. Happened. It was a good day. It was a good day to cut class.
Is Dippin' Dots still the ice cream of the future, even though it's been around for 50 years?
They're so overrated, Dippin' Dots. I'm sorry. Like they're a novelty. Like, yeah, like, oh, you get them once. Oh, that's a cool flavor. Maybe you have, but yeah, I'd rather just have ice cream or an ice cream bar. Or an ice cream sandwich.
And a nice soft serve ice cream out of the helmet is the way to go.
Yeah, some sprinkles and you're all set. I mean, I will say this: the plain old ice cream sandwich with the little brown chocolate like sandwich, very underrated. It gets overlooked, but it's a simple thing. But I mean, still, that hits the spot sometimes.
Yeah, it's funny. We have a nice family owned ice cream place that's literally right around the corner from here. Like I could walk there, and it's like the perfect like summertime. Just go and get like a nice cone or whatever. But unfortunately, it's family owned, and like the family's not doing so well. There might have been a death or two in the family, and now it's just a vacant building. It's just kind of sad. So it's just another piece of your childhood that's gone. So,
see, I recently discovered a local ice cream place that they have their shop, but then they're smart, so they're not open all like round the clock like restaurants. So they have like a selection for sale in like the bodega right on like same shopping center like on the corner. And it's one of those where like the selection is like you're just standing there looking at the freezer for like 3 minutes because it's like I can't get everything. Like I gotta like narrow.
Right. I'd like to get everything, but I can't get everything.
Everything sounds fantastic. Like
yes.
I'll have to make a run and get some Dave's ice cream soon. That's for the and we got another baseball pack here coming up.
No, I just got the 1 pack for the 87. I got 3 of these ice hockey packs, so we can get right into those.
There we go. All right, you look for some of the stuff we're looking to pull there. Of course, Upper Deck Ice has a lot of ice themes like the glacial graphs and the crystal, that stuff. So that's what we're looking for.
That we are. We obviously have the regular season winding down here. We start with a player who's probably going to win the Hart Trophy this year. He's certainly one of the favorites here with Nikita Kucherov. I love the ice design on these cards there, like the kind of like the cracked ice there, and pretty cool setup there.
I think you could see the Lightning sweep both the Hart and Vezina, because Vasilevsky certainly has a case to be made for the Vezina Trophy this year. So, I mean, you could see both of those guys take home well-deserved awards. And Kucherov's he's driving that team. I know they have Gensel. I know they have, Braden Point, Sorelli.
He's having an insane run. I mean, and there's really not like any signs of him slowing down either. Like he might have slowed down over. I'm sorry. He might have slowed down a smidge over the past week just because I haven't been paying close attention. But like he was on some sort of insane run where he put up like 100 points in 50 games or something.
And here's the other thing too. Like in past years, McKinnon or McDavid had too good of a season to ignore. Like, okay, as great as what Kucherov's doing, we can't this is the year for Kucherov. I think they pulling up Lightning stats right now. 40 goals and 81 assists in 67 games played. Absurd.
It's pretty good.
36 power play points. Shooting percentage 19.5%. So 1 out of every 5 goes in for him.
Right. I mean, the shooting percentage is a little fluky, but he's still like a superstar caliber player, and like he's having an incredible season. Must be nice. It must be nice to have good players that do good things.
Now, just for the case for Vasilevsky, 35, 12, and 4, 2.33 goals against, 9.13 save percentage. Now, I don't know if you've noticed this, but I feel like what qualifies as like a really good save percentage, that number has come down. I feel like this season.
Oh, definitely. Now it feels like if you're like a 900 or better, you're
good,
a star.
Or it used to be like 900s, like that's kind of backup numbers. Now it's like you're our guy.
Right, and I think that was really accentuated. I mean, we can kind of get into this now if you want. I feel like it was kind of accentuated when I saw the news yesterday that the Golden Knights fired Bruce Cassidy. I don't think I quite realized how bad the Vegas goaltending has been all year between Akira Schmid and Carter Hart and Aiden Hill and all those guys. Like, I mean, the best one of them has like an 880 save percentage. So, I don't know. I think it's a little silly to fire one of the best coaches in the league in regards to where we have shooting percentages that are really low that probably aren't sustainable, and the league worst goaltending, and probably not the best idea. But if you're looking for a coach that's going to sort of kick the team in the pants and going into the playoffs, like it's tough to think of a better choice for that than John Tortorella.
Well, what's interesting now is I read this right before we started recording today. Like Elliot Friedman was reporting on other reasons behind the Cassidy firing, and apparently, like we know he's a hard nails coach. He's not a player's coach at all, and like not to oversimplify it, but it's become a situation where he's just worn his voice down to just being completely ignored in the room. And apparently, even during the Cup run, he was like having when things are supposed to be like hunky dory. And like he was still like having beefs with players behind the scenes and stuff like that. Now, if that is the case, bringing a guy like Tortorella in makes almost no sense, because it's like, you know what?
It's gonna be the same thing.
I don't want this T-bone. We get a ribeye instead. Like what are we doing here? Like you're supposed to bring in something. Now, Torts has softened up a little bit. Maybe his brand of aggressiveness will come off differently than Cassidy's. I don't know. But when you look in the standings right now, 32, 26, and 16. So you're essentially 32 and 42. You're 10 games under. So like if the Devils did this with Larry Robinson, Robbie Fatorik, like they fired him like Fatorik, like March 20 something, I think it was.
They did that with 8 games left in the season. The Devils won the Stanley Cup that year. What people forget is that the Devils tried the same thing again maybe 7 or 8 years later, where they fire Claude Julien with 3 games left in the season, and that didn't work out.
But you know what? When you look at this Vegas team and you just look at how pathetic, as Connor McDavid called it, a pillow fight this division is. And yeah, the Ducks deserve a playoff spot, but do they deserve to be the division lead? Like nobody deserves that division. If you look at Vegas's roster, they should be getting way more out of this, even with the suspect goaltending. And it is the goaltending. Like you look at other teams and it's like, oh, but the blue line stinks in front of them. They actually have a decent blue line. So no, it is just piss poor goaltending that they have. they should be in a better place in this division with what's on that roster. And
No,
maybe this is
I get it, and I'll probably touch on this a little later when you ask me what I'm writing about this week. But like, I admire that Vegas, like, for a lot of teams being third place in the division, and being relatively safe for a playoff spot. For a lot of teams, that would be good enough. I admire with Vegas that that's not good enough, and like from day one, that's been an organization where I don't care who you are and like what you've done, but like we're trying to win a Stanley Cup right now, and if you're not going to help us achieve that goal, like we'll just get rid of you. I don't care if you won a Vezina this past year. I don't care if you coached us to a Stanley Cup championship. I don't care if you've been here since day one. Like, they'll just as ruthless and cutthroat as that is. I admire that. That's how they go about and when they're operating.
And the other thing too is, we mentioned that the Pacific's wide open. If you get hot at the right time, and maybe we'll see tonight. I mean, you get the perfect first opponent. You get Vancouver at home. So like here you go. Here's a chance to.
It shouldn't take much to reach the conference final out of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Bracket. Yeah.
And if you talk about teams that get hot at the right time, 8 games to go, couple of games adjustment, you start winning after that. All of a sudden, first round, you got Edmonton or Anaheim. Both are beatable, although Anaheim, I think, has swept Vegas or beaten 2 out of 3 or whatever it was. So the timing's a little suspect, but I get it. Like, what was going to happen with Bruce Cassidy? The Edmonton Oilers were going to beat you in 5 games again? Like,
I mean, maybe it's because Edmonton's had their number. Edmonton's won 9 of the last 10 against them.
So I think it's a good time move. And let me take that back. I don't think it was a good time move. I think if you were going to do it, the time was yesterday. Like, you can't wait after tonight. Like, you give at the time that they waited to the last possible second. Now we'll see with what Torts brings. It's going to be probably a similar brand, maybe Pepsi versus Coke kind of thing.
Well, they play tonight, so we're going to see really quickly what they look like.
Here's your first, and but we'll see. But I mean, I like you said, you got to admire that. They
only get the worst team in the league right off the bat. So
and then Calgary. So you get a nice soft landing, and then you go on the road for 4 and home for 2.
Yeah. Let's see. We go right to. Excuse me. Oh, you on there? We go right to Jaden Schwartz here with the Seattle Kraken. It's kind of hard to believe he's been there as long as he has, because then these are 2021 22 packs. But there you go.
Vegas plays them twice down the stretch. That important games there.
Yep. Elias Lindholm with the Calgary Flames, Rasmus Dahlin with the Sabres, and a Jan Yannick rookie card here with the Arizona Coyotes.
Do we think the Sabres are, I don't want to use the word fade, but they've lost 3 of their last 4. 3 of those 4 games have had to go to overtime or beyond. They're coming back down to earth. I still think they're a very good team, but
I think they peaked too early.
Agreed. I think they got to play Montreal in the first round. Let's say if Tampa wins the division and Montreal keeps it up, that would scare me if I'm Buffalo.
That's gonna be a tough. I mean, I know everyone's talking about how good the Central is, but like the Atlantic's just as good and just as deep. I mean, and yeah, they should avoid Tampa in the first round, which would be good. But yeah, I mean, whichever wild card team they get, whether it's Montreal or Boston, like that's not going to be an easy first round matchup. If it's Montreal's going to give them everything they can handle. Depending on the matchup, I would not be surprised if the Sabres lost in the first round.
So I threw this out on Total Hockey Now last Thursday in a segment called Pucking Postulate, saying that Tampa, one of them was Tampa and Buffalo will not meet in the second round, a.k.a. one of them loses in the first round. And if I had to pick between the 2 of those, again, I'm not trying to bash Buffalo, but it does seem like they peaked a little too early. They're coming back down to earth. And like you said, Montreal could beat anybody the way they're playing. Like, that is probably one of the last teams I want to see in the first round of the playoffs if I'm in the upper echelon. I don't want to see Montreal. Boston's another one that's coming on strong, too. That's going to be real strong, that Atlantic bracket this year.
Yeah, I mean, the East is just loaded. I mean, let's just call it what it is. Like, the Ottawa's playing as well as they are, and they haven't made up any ground in the last 10 games. And
how about Philly?
Yeah, and like Philly's like knocking on doorstep. Like, the Devils dug themselves too deep a hole, but the Devils are playing as well as they have all season, and like they just they keep winning games, and like they're still 10 points out. Like they're obviously not going to make it, but it's a loaded conference, man. It's so many good teams.
Senators,
All right.
Red Wings, Flyers all have 86 points in 73 games played, and all three sit outside the wild card behind Boston and Columbus.
All right. Well, another team sitting on the outside would be the Winnipeg Jets. There's Josh Morrissey there.
Mathematically alive, but not going to get in.
Right. Mathematically alive, but not really alive. Oh, I almost just dropped a card there. Let's see. We have Brent Burns here with the Sharks. Now he's still kicking and going strong with the Avs.
Him and Josh Manson are that are like, hey, we got to send two guys out there to make sure nothing happens, and they do their jobs.
Yep. I indirectly referenced this player already, but we got Marc-Andre Fleury here with the Blackhawks. So there you go. We got Sasha Barkov with the Panthers. Panthers just not the same this year without him. I mean, they'll be a prime bounce back candidate next year when they get all their guys back healthy and they have a nice long summer to recuperate and they're not hungover the entire time.
That's the thing. They've played a lot of hockey over the last 3 to 4 seasons. And listen, I know Kachuk is great, Reinert's great, but Barkov is the guy there. Let's just be real.
It's a gap. It is what it is. Once they lost Barkov and they dealt with everything else on top of it, they just needed a
reset.
Yeah, they needed a reset, and they're going to get a reset. So good for them. And John Gibson here with the Ducks. Now, obviously, with the Detroit Red Wings. No pack left.
So I think the Bruins have assured them. I don't want to say because anything could happen, but I think the Bruins you can lock in as a wild card, or maybe they end up catching Montreal. Either way, I think they're in. Columbus, Ottawa, Detroit, Philly for that last wild card spot. It's going to be. I mean, hell, Columbus and Pittsburgh are tied. So you got to put Pittsburgh in that mix. The Islanders only a point ahead, so it's like that East is going to have a lot of movement coming into the last week of the season.
You're going to have a team with like 98 points and missing in the East.
Yeah, and now in the Pacific, you'll probably have, or the wild card 2 in the West might be 90 points.
Which is funny because last year in the Metro, like the Devils did everything they could down the stretch to give away that last playoff spot, and like none of these teams could just overtake them, and they wound up getting in with like 91.
I wonder if you go to like one of the things I suggested on Total Hockey Now to like, because you're going to have like teams in the East that should be there, quote unquote, over teams in the West. They should make 2 of the wild card spots at the best 2 records after the top 7 from each conference get in. That's what I would. But you know, like an Anaheim Boston series, now it's a problem. But
yeah, unfortunately, Gary's not going to change his beloved playoff format anytime soon.
I'll just go back to 1 through 8 and make it a bracket. That's it.
Gary's the worst. I can't stand him.
Just don't receive.
Drake Batherson here with the Sens.
Let's see, a very good player for them.
Yep. Mitch Marner, obviously now with the Golden Knights, and having a down year. Word to the wise with Mitch Marner, who's been one of the best right wings in the league the last 7 or 8 years he's been with Toronto. Maybe don't play him at center. Kind of a stupid idea.
I was joking around on a group text with the guys from Total Hockey Now. They're like, who's going to be the first person to go in Tortorella's doghouse? I'm like, well, it's got to be somebody that makes absolutely no sense. And Marner was the guy we agreed on that's going to somehow end up in Torts' doghouse right out of the gate.
Yeah, because Marner won't back check once, and that'll be it for him.
Yeah. Not the guy that's probably salvaging your season somehow. Michael.
Yep. Let's see. We have Jason Spezia here with the Leafs. And we finish up with 2 rookie cards here. We have UPL with the Sabres. I'm not going to attempt to say his name.
Pekka
Luukkonen. And Dawson Mercer with the Devils, who recently just crossed the 400 game threshold. So it just seems like yesterday he was a rookie, and now he's a Grizzly veteran at 400 games.
Give a letter grade to his career with the Devils.
B.
Okay. That's fair.
B, because he had a really good second season where he had like 56 points. That was that year where the Devils had like 112 points and like everyone just had career years because everyone stayed healthy. and he hasn't really been able to match that since. Like he's basically hovered around like the 20 goal, 15 assist mark the last 3 years, which like isn't terrible, but when you're playing a guy in the top 6 regularly, it's not quite what you're looking for. Like I think he's probably more of like a good third line winger on a team than a top 6 guy.
That's fair. On a championship contending team, he's a third line.
Right. And like I don't think he does enough. I feel like he's invisible too much during some of these games. Like he's not overly physical. Like he will get in and battle along the boards, but like he's I don't know. There's just something about his game that just hasn't taken the next step in his development in the last couple of years, and it's a little bit frustrating. And now he's starting to get more expensive because he's made $4 million in the last couple of years. It's like if this is what he is, like you'd almost rather make a hockey trade and try to upgrade the position rather than keep running him out there in the top 6.
Fair enough. There we go. Solid. B's a good solid grade there. Considering.
Right. Like he's not a bust. Like he's clearly an NHL player. And like, I do think there's, even though like, I don't think he's the most physical player, I do think there's a skill to staying healthy. And like, this is a guy who's played every game for the last 6 years. He's been in the league. So like the fact he's already at 400 games, like he's probably going to play 1,000 games. You can't play 1,000 games in this league and like not be a good player. Like, there's definitely a skill to that, but I just question like how good a player is he, and I feel like in that respect it's a little bit disappointing. But then again, he's also like an 18th overall pick. It's not like he went 7th overall like Alexander Holtz in the same draft class.
That's the thing. Like there is something to be said about being able to count on him to go out, somebody to go out there for 82 games a year, and like okay, they're locked in. Like that's a nice thing to have. If nothing else,
I think he had an assist last night.
It's the Blackhawks. It was Star Wars night there. Let's talk. Keep the hockey rolling.
I watched the game on the phone, but I wasn't really following along too closely. I saw Jack destroyed him again. 2 goals and 2 assists against the Blackhawks.
He's riding that Olympic performance down the stretch here to finish strong. We go. Maybe we'll get a Jack Hughes in this 25-26 Upper Deck Series too. I have a hobby box of these are slowly going. So excited to get 2 packs under the Rip today. So bring up the West Coast Rip cam. Go. That gets situated.
I don't want to insult your camera. It might be time to put this camera out to pasture.
No, this is actually a better camera. I don't know why it's doing this right now. Like it'll settle. It'll settle. I'm not worried. We've got Caden Gooley from the Canadians. Decent depth defenseman there. If I have to switch to this happened last time too, and then it settled in eventually because it looked good going in. We've got Philip Deneau from the Kings. I mean, somebody's got to get that last wild. It's funny because in the East for the last wild card spot, it's a dogfight. It's people are going to be left out. People are going to be upset. But in the Pacific, the wild card 2 in the West, it's like you take you take it. It's like. I mean, I'm going to Sharks Blues tonight, and the only I'm going for 2 reasons. One, because I found somebody to take the ride with me, so I don't got to drive back from San Jose at 9:30 at night by myself for a Monday night game against the Blues. But 2, they find themselves as I left them for dead last week after the way that last that 5-6 game stretch went. But they beat Columbus yesterday, and because Nashville's lost their last 2 games and haven't got in regulation, so they haven't gotten a point. 73 points to 77. They got 3 games in hand on the Predators, and they trail by 4 points. So it starts with tonight by beating the Blues. So here I am, find myself taking a ride down to the Shark Tank on a Monday night to hopefully see if the Sharks can keep their playoff hopes alive. I still have 2 more games after this.
All you need to know about the Western Conference is like, I know you mentioned the game with Sharks Blues. I think from the context clues there, you were mostly talking about the Sharks. But the fact that the Blues sold at the deadline and they also have 73 points and they're also only 4 points back of the Predators with games in hand just tells you how pathetic that entire conference is, because the Blues have been one of the worst teams in the league the entire season.
Joel Hofer has been out of his mind for the St. Louis Blues and has single-handedly – they're also like on a bunch of the team that goes under a lot lately too. Yeah, they're
7-1-2 in their last 10.
There's something to be said sometimes after like you trade like the trade deadline and like like that's behind you and people know like who's going to be there. Like, hey, listen, the Blues aren't making the playoffs, but listen, if you can play spoiler along the way and beat other teams down, why not?
But it's also one of those things where like you have these teams going on these runs like late in the season. Like the Devils been playing well of late too, but like now you're wondering, all right, now are all the pressures off? Like, is this actually real or is this just like Fugazi? Like, is this fake?
Listen, they're playing good hockey. They're playing good hockey now. So just you keep that in mind. I think it'll be a good game tonight. I think it'll be a good tight game. And second row upper bowl, right where the Sharks skate out of the Shark mouth. I'll have a good view of that tonight. We are next. We got another Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen card, second of the day here. We got Lawson Krause from the Utah Mammoth. I can't figure out if they're a team that could legitimately pull off an upset or if they're going to be first round fodder for, whoever wins the Pacific. Can't figure that out.
Well, that's right, because they would cross over in the other bracket. So, I guess I give them a shot, right?
I think against an Anaheim, yeah. Even if an Edmonton somehow comes back and takes a division, which is not out of the realm of possibility. I know Anaheim's got a game in hand on them, but they're only 3 points back.
They have a better goal differential than every team in the Pacific Division.
Utah we got Eric.
Anaheim's leading the division with a -6 goal differential. Like, what are we doing here?
It's again, this is the argument to go through 1 through 8. That way, you only guarantee one of those teams get in, and then everything just kind of shakes out on its own. But why we got
by the way, I did not realize you mentioned UPL. I did not realize the Sabres dropped to the 2 line in the Atlantic.
Well, yeah, because them and Tampa were kind of neck and neck, and now Tampa kind of has passed them. So
right. Well, they have the same amount of points. Tampa's got a game in hand, though.
We got David Perron, pictured with the Senators here, was traded at the deadline, I believe, to Detroit.
Can we kick Steve Yzerman to the curb once they miss the playoffs?
I think they have to seriously consider it.
Like the Yzer plan has not worked, and the fact that they're about to miss the playoffs again for what, like the 3rd year in a row by like a handful of points this late in the season, like what are we doing here?
See, here's the thing, and if they kind of control their own fate, because you got Philly 2 more times, even though they just played on Saturday and lost 5-3. You got Pittsburgh coming up tomorrow, a gimme game against the Rangers, home for the Wild, home for the Blue Jackets, home for the Devils, at Tampa and Florida to close the year. So you got Philly, Columbus, Pittsburgh are all teams that you're competing with. Even Pittsburgh, if they lose a little bit, they fall into that wild card mix. Take care of business against who you're supposed to take care of business against. You can deal with a loss to Tampa or Minnesota. You pretty much got to get everything else.
Yeah.
And listen, I would be very worried if I need to get that game against the Panthers, the final game of the season, because the Panthers have just enough jerks in the lineup that as long as they're not too injured and they got a chance to go eliminate somebody, they'd be like, yeah, we can close the season doing that. Yeah, let's go. Like, we're not going to the playoffs. We're not defending our cup, but if we can keep a team out.
Though. Did you see the Panthers lineup the other day?
I know.
It's really bad, dude.
But they have that attitude about them that I can see if people want to go get one less skate in for the year or whatever, it's not going to risk them. They might go. Speaking of team they're competing with, you got Samuel Ersson there with the Flyers. Dan Vladar has been the guy, but Ersson's actually been solid as of late. Been better. We got to let him cook. Jack Eichel, Chef Jack Eichel. I don't know if I love that insert series. I like the Eichel card. I don't like the damage over there.
Let's let the Golden Knights cook down the stretch.
Hopefully that's what Torts lets them do. We talked about the Sharks earlier. Colin Graff, one of their more underrated players and a guy I would expect to be there for a long time. When him, Smith, and Celebrini play together, they have a lot of chemistry.
He's a good third wheel, a good third hand to have with those guys.
Or he's a good third wheel on either of those top 2 lines. And you can put him down on the third line if you have to. Like, he's one of those guys you could put all over the lineup, and he's going to give you something. We got one of the Mr. Saturday, they're starting to call him now, Cole Caulfield.
Why? Because he shows up on Hockey Night in Canada on Saturdays.
He's like scored on Saturdays. Like I forget how many times this, like however many games the Canadians have had on Saturdays. I think he scored on like all but like one or two of them, or like something like that. Like he just produces on Saturdays. Now we have a Zach
on Saturdays. I used to produce on Saturdays back in my day.
Yeah, so did we all. We got another horizontal card here, although this is a cool one. Is a upper deck canvas Zach Werenski. Now, Jared, we've had some good pulls on this show. You always you want the dream. You want to pull the guy. You want to get the card. I'm glad I went to the hobby shop when I did that day. I got the last box.
Oh, nice! You got the Schaefer rim gun. There you go.
That is. That makes you feel good. That's a good way to kick off the week.
I mean, that's gonna be your runaway Calder Trophy winner right there. Like landslide, unanimous. Like we don't even need to have the vote. Like just give the award to him. I'm still amazed that he's having as good a season he's having at his age. Like just we talked about this before in the show. It's so hard for young defensemen in this league to come in at 18 years old and be that good immediately, like right off the bat. Like it's insane.
And they're also not sheltering them. They're playing like 20.
They're playing 30 minutes a night in all situations.
Like here, you're 18 years old. Go play in this situation. You got this. Just whether you like first of all, imagine I had the Sharks win the lottery and they had Celebrini and Schaefer. My God. But
oh geez, yeah. I mean that'd be the perfect guy.
They'd win the Pacific this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean I don't love watching it as a Ranger fan, probably nor do you as an Islanders fan, but as a Devils fan. But it's cool to see the development of a guy like that. Where you're like and it's not like, oh, let's see if he can repeat it again next year. But like, no, this guy is legit. He is going to be he's the answer to Cale Makar.
I mean, he might. If you're going best defenseman in the league right now. I mean, how many names do you rattle off before you get to Schaefer? It's not a lot. It's probably like Makar and Quinn Hughes. And then I think Schaefer's in the conversation.
I mean, let me pull up. Let's pull up a Calder final. Excuse me, Norris finalist recently by year. So let's see. It was Zach Werenski. You'd have to put ahead of him.
Werenski, you could put ahead of him. Like Adam Fox has had a bit of a down year. So, but
I would put Schaefer ahead of Fox right now.
Right now, I'd rather have Schaefer. Yeah.
Roman Josi.
Yeah, he's a little older, but like
I think
the fact that we're struggling here kind of tells you how good like Schaefer is immediately at 18 years old.
I think that's it right there, though. Like that's like Victor Hedman 10 years ago, sure, not now. And that's not a knock on Hedman. It's just he don't got many years left.
Right. Like Drew Doughty, same thing. Exactly. So
yeah, I would, I'd put him ahead of Josh Morrissey. Like you're trying to think of other top defensemen around the NHL. I mean, it's Schaefer's the guy.
Shea Theodore, you put him ahead of. I mean, Pietrangelo is probably done, so that's probably not a good example.
Yeah, no, Pietrangelo.
I'm just looking. I'm looking at the teams playing tonight on the schedule, and yeah, there's not really. He's better than Erik Karlsson.
Oh yeah, I'm trying. Let's see, pulling up Evan Bouchard for sure, because Evan Bouchard is not a defensive dynamo. Say,
yeah, Bouchard's an offense only guy.
Yeah, it's Schaefer. He's the guy. He's already like Jacob Chikrin is very good, but I'm not. Schaefer's the
guy. Do you have any more young upper deck packs here?
I got one more. We'll do quick.
All right, you got one more. All right, cool.
I mean, we're not. It's tough to beat the Matthew Schaefer Young Guns.
Yeah, it is. Well, if you get a second, you could always send one to your guy.
Yeah, I'll give you a card like that for free. Sure, why not?
You should. The kindness of your heart.
All right, so we open up with Sean Walker, good defenseman, not Matthew Schaefer. You could say that about Brant Clark as well. There's a tiny bit of bricking. No, it's just a thick card. All right, Brant Clark there. Defenseman of the future for the Kings. We got Ryan Hartman. They're taking a face-off against the Devils. Let's see what we got here. We got a cool angle of Freddie Anderson. Careful, I might hurt him if I put him down too rough. So let's make sure I gently place the Freddie Anderson card down on the stack. Let's see here. We got a guy who is played very well for the Rangers here coming down the stretch. Mika Zibanejad.
He's had a really good bounce back season. I mean, unfortunately for the Rangers, like everything else around them stinks right now, but not really Zibanejad. He's had a really good bounce back season. Like I think with the Rangers, this is going to be I don't think this is going to be a quick fix. Just with how much they've torn the roster down and like how much they apparently need, but if they shop Zibanejad, I'd be curious to see what they could get for him. Just because like there's a lot of years and a lot. It's not a cheap contract to take on, but you know, top 6 centers, you know, they don't grow on trees, and you know, somebody would certainly take a shot on Mika Zibanejad.
And all those, you know, second line centers, you know, or top 6 centers, will say that either didn't get traded at the deadline or that are going to be, you know, unrestricted, whatever the case may be. Like, there's going to be enough of them out there that somebody, if the Rangers want to move him, they can. And if you're a team looking for, if you're a team looking to take that championship step and you plug in Mika as your second line center,
it's pretty good.
Yeah, he's definitely improved his value here over the last, you know, since the trade deadline, essentially.
Yeah, certainly over the past year.
We got Kirby Doc for the Canadians there. Got a couple of your favorite horizontal cards here. We got Brad Marchand,
very nice.
Owen Tippett, who has been on fire for the Flyers as of like, he has been very good for them. Maybe that's a good sign of things to come for them. And 2020, still, you know, couldn't get it done with Cutter Gauthier. You would like to see what he's doing in Anaheim if he had been doing that in Philly. But I guess they got Trevor Zegras, and that's working out for him. I don't think that's fair. And we got William. I mean, I know there were different trades, but still. William Nylander with the Leafs. Interesting to see what they're going to do this offseason with Austin Matthews. There were rumors about the Kings or the Ducks.
By the way, I hate to interrupt you here, but I'm glad you pulled a Leaf here. Leafs Ducks on the schedule tonight. Must watch. Must watch. Gudis back in the lineup. I want to see how the Leafs respond to that. You know, I want to see if they just, because if I were the Leafs, I would be taking a run at every guy on the Ducks tonight.
Leo Carlson better watch himself, because that's right. That's the eye for an eye right there. You're a top line center for my top line center. Troy Terry, you know, he can't stay healthy this year. And when he is healthy, though, he's a big contributor.
All their guys, Beckett, Seneca, what's his face? I don't know if they're still healthy. Scratching.
Brandon just came back too.
Right. So, point being, that's gonna be appointment viewing tonight.
You know, I don't know if you saw the clip going around. Chris Pronger was on one of these hockey podcasts, and he said, he's like, I probably looked like a madman because when I saw that hit and they cut to me, I was laughing. And the reason I was laughing is because I was watching Radko Gudas after the hit, and you can almost see him looking around, waiting for somebody to come to, you know, defend and avenge their teammate, and nothing happened.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's why I was laughing, because even Gudas was like waiting for it, like, all right, let's go. And nobody even made an attempt. And it's like, that is like, if I'm Matthews, it's like,
oh, I'd be so pissed if I was Matthews. Nylander passed the puck to him. He's literally looking at the entire time. And not only does he not like skate over to do anything, all he does is he puts his arm up to call for the penalty.
And it's like, you know what? If I'm Matthews, and like winning the gold medal might have, like, to me, it's like you go and play for your country, you have the success. It's not a Stanley Cup, but you have gotten to the top of a very big mountain and tasted success. And then you look around what's going on in Toronto right now. Team is at the bottom of the division. There's no reason to think that they're going to, you know, have some sort of miraculous climb out of it next year. So what am I like? Why? And you deal with all the BS that you deal with in Toronto. It's like, you know what? Get me the hell out of here. Nobody cares. Like, nobody defends me. I deal with all this. I deal with 20 beat reporters at my locker all the time. Like, and now I go and actually in a tournament. It's like, oh, that's what it's like to win. That's what it's like to have success. Well, right. I'd like that, but if I can't have that, I'd rather go play somewhere where I can not be under a constant microscope. And, 100%. You know, maybe a teammate that might throw a punch for me if somebody gives me a knee on knee. Joke. 3 more cards to go here. We got a Derek Forbert Number 27 of 100, Upper Deck exclusive parallel there. So cool to get a number out of 100, but it's Derek
Yeah,
Forbert.
it's Derek Forbert,
And then
unfortunately.
we close with two of the top Canadian centers out there: Connor McDavid, Upper Deck portraits, and of course another Let Him Cook. This one, Connor Bedard. Good 2 packs today. A strong rip.
Yeah, overall very solid. And I don't know if I'm gonna go as far as to say the Blackhawks are gonna be a problem next year, but you can see what they're starting to build with a lot of the young players they have, not just Bedard, but guys like Frank Nazar and all those guys. They've had so many high draft picks. It feels like maybe not next year, but like in the next couple of years, they're gonna be that team that takes the leap.
So here's the thing. What the Sharks did this year, I think you can sign the Blackhawks up for that next year. Playoff contention, into March, kind of fade a little bit. They are hurt by being in the Central Division, where it's like, okay, top 3 spots, at least if the roster stays similarly constructed, pretty much locked up. Although we did see Winnipeg go from, penthouse to not making the playoffs. So maybe somebody takes a step back. I don't see it being Colorado, Dallas, or Minnesota. Maybe even so, I don't see it. So playoffs next year is probably rough considering they got, but yeah, I think the year after that, like you said, you could see the young core is starting to gel, be the focal.
Yeah, I mean they should be aiming for when like Colorado starts taking their downswing, especially since Colorado, like all their best players are like, if they're not 30 already, they're approaching 30.
There we go. So that's all the hockey packs for today. Now, Jared actually has we got an interesting segment here. So let's it's a combo. So let's start with the first part of it.
Yes.
All right. I love Loosey. What do we got?
Yes. So I don't know if you dabble with the Tops Now cards at all. Do you dabble with those?
I don't
So
know.
so the Tops Now cards, for people who are unaware, is they do good job of like whatever is happening in the moment, they'll capture it and they'll like immediately turn it around into a card.
Oh, I like a similar but different version, like the Sauce Gardner cheesehead hat, or the
Correct. Yes. Like
Chandler Jones sack touchdown against the Patriots, like that.
right. And if you remember a couple years ago when Aaron Judge hit the 62 home runs, I have a bunch of those cards from that run.
Uh-huh.
So they did a card for the Olympics for when the US team won the gold. Jack Hughes celebrating the golden goal. So I decided I wanted to pick one up, but so you can go on their website and order them directly. Now you can't because they're sold out, but they don't guarantee anything. So like it's basically like $10 a card, which is egregious when you consider it that way. But they have like all the variants that they list on there as well, and you can't order any of the variants. It's just luck of the draw. Like you get what you get. So I decided, because I do collect like Jack Hughes stuff, that I wanted to try to get one of the variants, and I figured the best way I could try to do it is order more than one card. But because it's $10 a card, it's like, well, how much can I order that like justify the purchase? So I got 5. I
That's
got 5
reasonable.
cards. Yeah, $50, whatnot, and like, so I will give them credit. They did ship it in a nice way. It's a nice hard plastic container. And that's the card right there of Jack celebrating the goal there.
Yeah.
Problem is, it's all 5. I'd open it up, but it's all the same card. It's 5 base cards. It's all the same card in there. So, unfortunately, I was not lucky to win the draw there, and I was. It's just annoying. Like I'm not naive enough to expect to get like the 1-of-1 autograph card or anything like that, but when you buy multiple cards like that, you can't throw somebody a bone and like just toss like one of the variants in there, because that's really what I was aiming for.
Yeah, just give me one parallel that I can, be like, I got this different version. You keep the base, and then you do what you can do with the other 3. Whatever.
Right, because now, like, I might keep one of these. I don't know what I'm going to do with the other 4. Maybe I'll trade you one of them for the duplicate Matthew Schaefer that you don't have.
Yeah. We'll start with Matthew Schaefer, Jack Hughes base. Yeah. There we go. Come on, shake hands. But yeah, that's That's annoying. Like that. If you remember, National Hockey Card Day. Remember when I basically pulled the same pack 3 times, and I
Yeah.
don't like that's what, and that's like mix it up a little bit. And actually, Upper Deck's National Hockey Card Day is coming up either this Saturday or next Saturday. I got to double check. I got to call I got to call the shop that I got the Matthew Schaefer box from and thank him. 2, see if he's going to have the packs for National Hockey Card Day. But yeah, that's annoying. Like even if he gave you 4 base, throw 1 parallel variant, something.
Right. And for $10 a pop, it's just a little ridiculous. You go on the Tops Now website, you see a lot of cool stuff up there. Mostly a lot of like MLB stuff, like from the first weekend. So you can kind of, like Kyle Tucker making a nice catch, and there's some like women's Final Four stuff, men's Final Four in there as well. So like, there's a lot of like cool stuff. So like, if you can come up with like a relatively recent like sports moment, as long as you're on top of it and you're going there within like a day or two of whatever it is happening, like you could get a card that commemorates it. Now it's not going to be cheap, and some of these cards are actually more expensive than I thought. Some of these cards are like $15 a card, which is a little ridiculous, but I mean, it's a cool concept. I just kind of wish it was handled a little bit better.
I mean, this Ovechkin sticker for 1,000 goals, $15. I mean, Anton, like sometimes we get a little crazy though, like Anton Frondel debut sticker, Carter Yakimchuk debut. Like, what are we doing? Like,
Well, you would say that, but like somebody probably collects like Anton Frondel stuff. Like,
I know, but it's partially a cash grab too. Like,
it's very much a cash grab, but it probably costs them nothing to produce these cards, and it's just all markup. And
no, like I get it. Like, let's say you took your kid to the Mets game over the weekend where Luis Robert Jr. hits the walk-off home run, and like you want to
there's
like
probably a card for that.
there is. That's why I specifically mentioned that. I'm on the website right now. So like that's like to me, like that's the purpose of that card. Like, okay, I want my kid to remember his first Mets
It's
game.
a nice thing to commemorate that. Yes.
And like, yes, it's a cash grab, but then it's also like, all right, $10. $10 is not what $10 used to be either. So that's part of it too.
It's like, have you bought gas lately? I mean, come on.
And that's the thing. Like, 10, like, let's go. If they had thought of this 10 years ago, probably be like $5. You'd be like, oh yeah, $5, no brainer. To me, it's like the same thing as like when you buy tickets, and people used to, us older people used to love getting the ticket stubs. Some of us have like the books with. So a lot of these places now, you can either go up to will call the day of, and like $5-10, they'll print you a stub, or like you add the printed option, like when you buy it online and they'll mail it to you or whatever. So like, I get it. It's nice to have a physical memento of a memory. So it's cool. It's just, it's over the top, but it's not over the top either.
Yeah, and I also didn't realize there were multiple like Jack Hughes Tops Now cards. There's also one of him with the gold medal. There's one of him with I guess with the flag. So like, I got like one, and like I didn't even get like all of them. So consider like I'm collecting this. Is like you probably should have done a little bit better and picked up some of these other ones. And but it's funny. Yeah, here it is. I'm looking at the listing right now. I don't know if I can send you the link on here.
In the private chat.
Yeah, if I knew how to do that. Let's see. Oh yeah, private chat. I'll send you the link here of the autograph card of the same one. And you could tell me how much this card costs.
$11,999.
Yeah. Well, it's number 9 of 10, but yes.
I see. To me, like I would want the 8 or the 6 of 10. This one because of the 86. That would be.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it's not like I need the Jack Hughes autograph card. Like I have Jack Hughes autograph stuff. I was just hoping to get a parallel. I wasn't trying to get greedy like this, but.
So let's see what the Matthew Schaefer Young Guns are going for right now. Oh baby. Ungraded 265, 275, graded 3,000. That's for Gem Mint 10.
That's pretty good. The first thing you should do is get that card graded.
I know. I got to get it protected and get it graded. So that's.
Well, have you dealt with getting stuff graded?
No, because I'm not like big on that. Like I just like to collect for my personal collection, but like this is something I can't ignore. I got to like look at it under the microscope light, see if like it's got a chance at a 10.
Even if it doesn't, like I think it's fine if you're like I'm not really a stickler for tens. Like as long as it's not like a 6 or something, I'm fine. If it's an 8 or a 9, like
That's so,
preferably a 9. Considering you got it right out the pack, I would guess it's a 9.
it's like yeah, like a 6 or 10. I'm just gonna crack it and submit it at that point.
But
Yeah.
do you just take it to like a local like hobby shop? Then someone like their will handle it for you. They'll fill out the paperwork. You just pay them.
I have that option, or there actually have been more card shows coming to my neck of the woods in the North Bay in California. I don't have to drive all the way to San Francisco or the East Bay or the South Bay. Like I got a couple coming up actually in about a month. So sometimes you grading submission on site. Oh, maybe that's the route I'll go at. But I'll talk to the shop that I got it from because he'll love to hear that Schaefer Young Gun.
There you go.
Now, that'll do it for this edition of this a very awesome edition of Rip N Riff here on the Rip N Riff YouTube channel. What do we got coming up at allaboutthejersey.com?
Well, I already alluded to it about how I appreciate how ruthless and cutthroat the Golden Knights are when it comes to running their hockey team. And why can't my team be like that? So that's going to be the theme of my article this week.
So I'm assuming you'd want Fitzgerald to go before Keefe, or would you want like a complete house clean, or do you want to give?
I'd want Fitzgerald to go before. I think Keefe's a good coach, and like I think what you're seeing with Keefe the last like handful of games is that like he can work as the coach here, but I also understand if you change the GM, the GM's probably going to want to bring his own coach, so it kind of is what it is. And I don't think there's enough of a difference between Keefe and other head coaches where it makes that much of a difference. It's really just the more of the matter of, the Devils have a tendency and a recent track record of just sitting on their hands and not doing anything. It's the complete opposite of the Golden Knights, and it's just infuriating to watch. And like, there's no guarantee that this works out with the Golden Knights, but at least they're not settling. Like they're not, content to just go into the playoffs and lose in the first round to the Golden Knights. So they realize they only have a finite number of kicks at the can with this group, and like they're going to do whatever they got to do to try to maximize it. So, like as a hockey fan, I appreciate that. I just wish my team operated that way.
The Devils are Ned Flanders' dad. We've tried nothing, and we're all out of things to do.
Exactly. Yes.
allaboutthejersey.com. Also, Jared's poker content and shorts. Excellent work over at Jared Moore Poker. And Total Hockey Now. Back with you again on Thursday, giving you your picks, helping you through the fantasy hockey playoffs. I'm in the semifinals in a few weeks there. So hopefully that will continue. But that does it for this edition of Rip N Riff. You're on the Rip N Riff YouTube channel. Reach out to the show at ripnriff@gmail.com. We're at Mr. Jared Moore. I am at Pucking Thoughts Adam Bernard. Happy Matthew Schaefer Young Guns Day. Edition of Rip N Riff. We'll be back next Monday. Plenty of hockey, baseball, maybe a little NFL draft.